The space between Van Munching Hall, the School of Architecture, and some South Campus dorms is called the William E. and Kathy Mayer Mall. Now, I use this word named very specifically because nobody actually calls this space or knows the space as that name. There's actually a great deal of disconnect between the residents and the students that go throughout this area throughout the day. There's really no sense of community, and it wasn't a challenge to see this at all. You stand there and you see just people walking through. It's as it stands right now, it's essentially a space filler. Paths cross this giant lawn in the best traffic patterns. While effective and efficient as it does not really foster any sense of community, socialization, or pride in the actual area. My idea is this: a miniature McKeldonization, if you will, designed, planned, and built by our students here at the University of Maryland. A special committee of students in the School of Architecture, Business, and Engineering will participate in every step of the process, from the planning, designing, costing it out, and the actual building of the project. What we have provided you for today is the cost estimate. Our students are already working on this project and have organized as follows. The architecture students are primarily focused on designing the project. The civil and environmental engineering students help in unison with the architecture students to plan in any additional and necessary utilities that the project might need. The civil engineers and project management students will work in unison with some business students and help them to address some sort of risk, financial cost, and any evaluations they need as far as time and scheduling. The engineering students will continue to design the project as it's constructed and deal with any necessary problems that come up. Once this space is actually completed, the business students will primarily take over the marketing of this project. The idea is as followed. There will actually be a giant welcome festival every year on South Campus Mall, which is designed for students and resident assistants as well as local community members to come and see the space as it is. This will encourage during the day a large group of food vendors and student vendors coming in to sell their wares, to sell their food, and to give some free foods to students and samples where they're needed. And during the night, which is my favorite part, there will actually be a small festival known as Bright Night. And will have sparklers, any sort of like little fireworks that you would want that might be safe for South Campus, and something to show the appreciation for the space and celebrate new students coming. My idea for this is to introduce the students into the space as they're introduced to campus. Many students living in this area might not have lived on South Campus before, and really it's an introduction for them to the community as a whole. Now, what will this new space include? The redevelopment of the space will turn it into a miniature McKeldon Mall, with small short walls and benches around the entrance paths. These small plazas around the entrance paths will actually include some tables, some short benches, and maybe a few planters, flower beds, and things like that. Now, on the paths, on the spaces themselves, and on the mall, there will actually be several different tiny plazas that will have rain gardens and native plants behind them, which will encourage sustainability in the space, as well as sustainability overall for the entire South Campus. Running along the edge of each side of the mall, there will actually be new pink trees, which will give a sense of uniqueness to the space. If the committee helps, I hope that it would help with the planning and funding of this space. The planning is what I'm really worried about in this space. The funding can be done in sort of a pattern, but I suggest for the most formative approach that each plaza actually be on a per class basis. So perhaps each class could build one or two plazas that would justify and show what that class was about. So we could have different benches in this space, different plants over here, and have a real sense of uniqueness to the space that McKeldon might not actually have because it's too uniform. As far as funding goes, I think that this formative approach and this long-term approach would be better and much easier on the pockets of the school, considering that it would require less short-term investment and actually the same long-term investment as it goes on. But I would like the committee's help, and I would like to see what the different members in the committee would like to see as far as the best course of action is to move forward. Thank you for your time.